boys and girls, students of Buddhist Sunday School, students of Dhamma classes, Buddhist youths, parents, grandparents, and teachers of Buddhist Sunday School and Dhamma classes. May you all be well and peaceful. Now, today we are going to do a very important Dhamma lesson. And it is about the 5 moral precepts. Now, you in Sunday school, you always start with the puja where you chant the 5 precepts, remember? Like Panatipata, Veramani, Sikha, Padang, Samadhiyami, and so on. So today we are going to examine one by one, explain to you more clearly, so you have a better understanding of the 5 precepts and why it is very important to keep or observe the 5 precepts and what can happen if a person does not observe or follow the 5 precepts. What will happen to him in this life and also in future lives? After he passes away and he gets reborn, what will happen? So this is a very important teaching in Dharma on morality. So, as usual, we will launch the PowerPoint and I will explain to you as clearly as I can in English, and you have to listen with good attention and with good mindfulness. Then you get the important points and there will be great merits for you and of course benefits. So as usual, we will launch the PowerPoint, the slideshow, view show. So that is the cover slide, right? Observing the 5 important precepts. Now, you see, I've chosen this picture or this image, very meaningful one. You can see Buddha, right? And he is teaching the Dhamma. And see, this shows that when he teaches the Dhamma, even the devas or the gods from the heavens can come and they pay respect to him, and he then teaches the Dhamma. And of course, you have also the monks, the followers, the disciples, and actually, you also will find some lay disciples, because this picture doesn't capture the whole audience properly. So you can see this beautiful picture. And then you look at these images. These are animated Dhammacakka wheel. All right, it is a very important symbol in Buddhism. It's called the Dhamma wheel or Dhammacakka wheel. It actually is the wheel that turns. There is a turning that signifies the turning of the Dhamma. Right? The first sermon was given by the Buddha. So it is very meaningful. You will see this particular symbol. Then, of course, another Buddhist symbol is the lotus flower. Very, very significant in Buddhism is the Buddhist flower, just like a lotus. No, it starts maybe underneath the mud in the pond, dirty. It hasn't grown up yet. So gradually it sprouts out from the pond. And then when it blooms, you find it's beautiful, isn't it? You can get white lotus, yellow lotus, red, pink, right? So this blooming of the lotus from something, that comes from the mud or that's dirtier, tells us that we have our weaknesses or defilements, right? The bad qualities of the mind like greed, anger, hatred, delusion. But if we study the Dharma and cultivate, we can rise above all those bad things and begin to improve until we can even become like the Buddha, enlightened, right? So there's a significance. Then this is the dove, the bird of peace, right? So the Buddha's teachings for peace, happiness, wisdom, freedom. All right. So let us go on. Now, firstly, I have to tell you the meaning of precepts. Now, precepts are not commandments, right? Like in other religions. Oh, you must do this, you must not do that. If you do this, you will go to hell forever and ever. It's not like that. Precepts are moral training rules. They are training rules of morality to train our mind. When we practice our religion, or you can say when we walk the spiritual path, then we have these moral training rules for us to follow, to guide us on the correct path, where we will be led to get happiness, peace, and freedom. So if all religions actually have moral rules, but different thing is in Buddhism, they are not commandments. So it's always a training thing where you gradually train to become better and better in your mind, to get rid of the bad things and to let the good things develop. So even you have made mistakes, now mind, right? Know that you have made the mistakes and then you make the resolve or you make the resolution that I must not make these mistakes again. So gradually you begin to progress, right? So that is a beautiful thing. You have to observe the rules with understanding. Right. Now let us look at the first precept. Now the first precept is involving this: no killing. Right. Now no killing, not only of people, but also of animals, all types of animals. And when you chant the 5 precepts, the first one is this, that you undertake the precept, the training rule to refrain. To refrain means to keep away from, not to I undertake the training rule not to kill or harm any living being. That is the meaning, right? So you chant, with great mindfulness concentration. Slowly your mind right, begins to be rising, right? Higher spirituality. Now, why is it that we must not kill? Now you reason, now you can understand. All sentient beings are, these living beings are, whether animals are or human beings, what do they value most? Value their lives, just as you. So if a robber comes to your house, right, the robber says he wants to kill you, wow, you'll be very afraid. But if you lose your wealth, you don't mind, but you lose your life, had it already. So all of us value lives. So likewise, other beings also value their life. So therefore, just as you do not want to be killed or harmed, tortured, right, causing pain to others, so therefore, we also must not kill other beings. We must not hurt other beings or give them pain. Isn't it? Logical, isn't it? Cause and effect. A great saying, I think it was from Confucius, that do not do unto others what you do not want them to do unto you. You do not want people to come and kill you, so you don't go and kill other people also. Otherwise, you get the bad result. So then you can see examples I've given here in animated images, examples of the first precept, breaking the first precept, killing a person. That is a serious thing. Right. Now you see, killing a person, it could be murder, it could be killing because of robbery, it could be killing because it's so angry. You have cases also where the father and son quarrel until the son lost the temper and then killed the father. Then after that, when he was not so angry, wow, imagine the suffering, the guilt, the regret, father no more already. He has killed the father. It's a terrible bad karma, right? So we have to control, therefore, our mental state. So killing can be in so many forms. Now we see there are 5 worst karma. If you commit this worst karma, then you find the vipaka. Vipaka will be the results of your doings. The result will be the most heavy. Now, of course, you cannot kill a Buddha. That's the natural law. But the Buddha can be wounded. So the Devadatta, his cousin, tried to kill the Buddha. He did not succeed in killing, but he caused the Buddha to be hurt in the toe area. And that is considered a terrible karma for which rebirth will be the hell rape. Then killing an Arahant, a fully enlightened being. Now that also is what we call Garuka karma, can send a person to hell. And then killing a father, killing a mother. So you see, killing Arahant, killing mother, killing father. So this is very serious breach of the precept. And then the last one is causing disharmony in, let's say, the Sangha group. So you have Sangha members, everything like you, batu api, cucuk until you cause quarreling and then to split the religious group, right? That is also very heavy karma. There is a very, very heavy consequence of going to hell after when you pass away and you will be reborn. Now, of course, hunting animal, that is also not a good action. Now, imagine if you are being hunted by people, now how much fear you will have in you, isn't it? Let's say somebody, you are in the jungle, right? And then the word goes around that this group of hunters, they want to look for people, who are in the jungle, they want to kill, and you come to know of it, and then the hunters spot you, they chase you, want to those days use bow and arrows or spears. Now they have guns, so they chase you until you find what you will have to try to escape and save your life. What is your state of mind? Very, very afraid, isn't it? Very, very fearful, terrified. So you can see this is a very unwholesome thing. So likewise also animals. You kill the mother monkey, the poor baby monkeys all will be crying, losing the mother. So hunting of animals is definitely an unwholesome action. Killing the animals, they have a spot, and I think it's a very great spot. Then the other thing is animal slaughter. Nowadays, you still have these things. Ancient times, they believe that, they want to make the gods happy, so they take the goats or cows or other animals and sacrifice them. And long time ago, even there are certain tribes that sacrifice human beings. This actually is breaking the first precept. Now, of course, there are people, their livelihood is to slaughter animals, slaughter the cows and the pigs, and then they want to sell the meat. Now, that is not considered a right livelihood, right? You kill the animals. It's terrible, isn't it? So, killing of animals is a break of the first precept. In this case, you can see the slaughtering of the animal. And then, of course, you have other very dreadful things like a terrorist, Right. Then he, let go the bomb, maybe he put the bomb in the car, or a suicide bomber, right? And then blow up the whole marketplace, or put bombs in the cars, all these, and then so many die, get killed, and then some are so terribly injured, lose their arms, their legs, everything. That is very, very heavy, bad karma. And they will have the results. So maybe later on, they might be caught and then they'll be tortured. In Guatemala, so terrorists got put there in jail and then, got tortured. So you have the suffering as the result. Now, even let's say you manage to escape, and then later on you die. No escape. Because you have broken the first precept, then you find there will be the harmful effect. We will see this in the next slide. What is the vipaka? The vipaka or karma vipaka means intentional action, and then the vipaka is a result. So karma is defined as intentional action. It's the action that you do with intention, not just accident and all. Right? You really know and want to do it. People want to murder, take revenge, right? You slaughter the animal, you know you're going to kill it and you kill it. That is the break of the precept. So one who breaks the first precept will meet with dukkha. Dukkha, the usual translation is suffering, sorrow, pain and grief in this life and future lives, where he's likely to be reborn into suffering states. And there are the suffering states of hell, naraka, that's the worst way. And then you will be reborn as an animal that is also suffering. You can see the animals very afraid one, right? They're afraid of when they, many animals when they're eating also, they will just look around and see the birds or the cat, everything, they look around and see whether there are other animals that come. In the jungle, the big animals will eat the small animals. So it's a suffering state, right? The animals you find, not a happy state. So that is a woeful state. And then of course you have the hungry ghost or the peta, the ghosts. You hear ghost stories. These ghosts also, they cry, and according to what I understand, when they cry, instead of the tears coming out, the blood will come out. So these are the terrible states. So if you break this first precept, you can get reborn into these states. If because of some good karma before, you happen to be born into a human race, right? Because you have good karma also, and heavy karma, the karma of breaking precept is there. So they can be reborn human being, but very short life. That's why you hear of cases where, children die of cancer, accident, so young, Is it due to the God? Cannot be the God, isn't it? The child has not committed any wrong yet. He doesn't even know. He hasn't done those horrible things yet, too young. But yet the baby also can die of cancer. So is it that God? Cannot be. So according to Dhamma teaching, that's because of a past life. In the previous lives, because of not knowing, they might have caused a lot of killings. And then there are some people who like to torture other living beings, that also is terrible. You cause pain to other living things. And later on, you will suffer. Maybe you might be caught, and then people will torture you back, or you will be sentenced to jail, and then you will have to, really live a very terrible life. But even if they escape this life, they can be reborn into the woeful states, right? And not only one life, it can be many, many lives. Sometimes it goes on for so many hundreds of years, also reborn into the woeful state because of the bad karma. But let's say because they have some good karma also, they get reborn into the human realm. Then you find he can be reborn as a human being, but very sickly, always sick, suffering in pain, and then some may be born cacat, and then you find that they may be blind, or maybe one arm missing, one leg missing, and then always having all types of sicknesses, terrible sickness, a human being, but suffering. This is attributed to the past karma. So therefore, we can make certain aspiration, wishes, or certain mind statements, a firm assertion, positive, so that we will remind ourselves we must not kill, but practice the good things opposite. You will practice the good things, this will help you, they will give you the good results. And this good result may be able to make the bad things that come out later on very, very small, you see. So this one you say, you just reflect in the silence of your mind. Then you say, I will act for the welfare and happiness of all beings. That means whatever I do, I must think of the welfare and the happiness. I don't want to give them pain, right? Or I don't want to cause them sadness. So you say, I will cultivate loving kindness and compassion, metta, karuna, for all living beings, not only for people, but also for animals, small or big. Now you can see some examples here, right? So this is a cartoon image. The show is so kind, concerned about other people, shading the umbrella with the umbrella. Or this one, Mother Teresa. I think I've shown this, the pictures a number of times. Really, carrying out good actions, very praiseworthy. This one, visit somebody, another being that is, of course I use cartoon lah, but it's the same thing. When it comes to living beings, somebody's sick, you pay a visit to him in the hospital, give him metta, speak kind words, wish him well, recovery soon. All these are good things that will make the result of bad karma not so heavy. The Buddha in the one of the suttas, right? So in the teaching, he said, because of our past lives, because of ignorance, we have committed wrong things, bad karma. So bad karma, he said, you imagine like a lump of salt, So this lump of salt, let's say you put in a bowl of water. So you have a bowl of water and you have inside you have, those days they use bigger lumps of salt. So when you taste the water, very saltish, isn't it? Now the analogy or the example is to show you this. This lump of salt represents the bad karma that you might have done early part of your life or previous lives. But the water represents the good that you have done, right? So if you have a lot of water, let's say you have the same amount of salt, you put into a big tank of water, or maybe put in the river, and then you can taste the water. What do you find? You can hardly feel the saltishness, isn't it? Right? Because so much water, because you have so much good. So don't have to feel guilty. We have done something not right, bad karma from the past. Just say, oh, this is my past, I didn't know, I did a lot. So now mind, I will add more water, which means that I will do more and more good things. Then you are a wise person. So nobody is condemned. There's a way. But some people, they don't believe, they don't want, they continue to do all the bad things. So like adding more and more salt, wow, so saltish. Then you see in the future lives, more and more suffering goes on for a long time. Right? So that is an important message. Now we go on to the second precept. And this second precept pertains to what? No stealing or taking what is not given. All people would not be happy if others steal or rob from them, isn't it? They will feel pain and sorrow. Let's say if somebody or robber comes to your house and steal your handphone, all the expensive things of money, how will you feel? You feel very sad, isn't it? Sorrow, because other people take your things. It's not that you're giving them, and they rob you of the money also, the gold. So it's not a good thing, isn't it? Causing the person causing the pain to you. So the person will be getting the bad karma for stealing. So likewise also, if you go and steal other people's things, or you go and take people's things without asking, no permission, you just take. And then people start looking for them, cannot find, suffering, cannot find the thing, because you have taken and kept in your house, want to like borrow, but you forget that you don't ask permission, people don't know, then you cause a lot of suffering. So we must refrain. Refrain means we must not take other people's things or things that do not belong to us, or we must not steal. So the precept say, I undertake the precept to refrain, to keep away from stealing or taking what is not given to me. We have chanted in the second precept. First one is panatipata and so on. The second one, adina, dana, veramani, sikha, padang, samadhiyami. This is the one. Undertake the precept to keep away from stealing. Now, example, you can see stealing or robbing, and then also some people go to the supermarkets or the emporium and start stealing. This is called shoplifting. This is a break of the second precept. And then some students, they want to copy, in an examination, they copy their friends, like this cartoon. In the effect comes, the blow falls down. This is a wrong action. Copying. And now you have this terrible thing our country is facing. A lot of people are corrupted. Makan suap, bribery. You see, he has done something wrong. He thinks that he can use the money and bribe the policeman or bribe the politicians to help him out. This is not the honest way. You have done something. You are, and then the one who takes the bribe also not correct. It's not legal or moral, ethical money. You see, right? So this is the second precept. Now, what about the result? Well, the result of stealing, the karma vipaka, the intentional action and result. One who breaks the second precept will meet with suffering, just like just now we said, sorrow, pain, or grief. In this life, because you can be caught later, or people find out that you're stolen. People use a stick or use a knife and poke you, man, they make you suffer. But let us say you don't meet the suffering in this life. What will happen in the future? When we die, you get reborn. Can be reborn into the woeful state. The suffering state, like hell, animal rape, or ghosts, these are suffering states. But suppose the fellow happens to have some good karma and gets reborn into the human race. But because he has broken the second precept, so he can be reborn into a very poor family, suffering, no money, no food to eat, also poverty. So much hardship and suffering. But that does not mean that nothing can be done. You can also rise above the poverty. You say, I'm born into this type of state, maybe my past karma. But now I can work hard, study hard, later on get a job, and then go to the university. I can become wealthy, and there will be people like that. So karma is not something fixed. You suffer because of wrongdoing, but you can get out of it and improve. And then also you find people who break the same precept, they might have situation where people cheat them because you cheat other people last time, or you steal from people. So this life, we find some people always get cheated, con, scam victims, or of course sometimes it's due to their greed now, but sometimes it's due to also a past karma. Or you always lose things, people take your things, or some people always lose things, maybe a karmic reason. So therefore, you make a positive affirmation, aspiration, see or you say that you make this resolution. I will be honest, generous. You know what's generous? Murah hati and take delight in giving and sharing. Don't be selfish. Don't do dishonest things. Just share and care, just donating. Honesty is the best policy. You can do dana in so many ways. Apart from giving money to the poor, you can give them food, clothes, right? You can help other people who are in need. So many ways. This will help to dilute the bad karma. Because of the past, you have some bad karma already, but now you do more of these positive things, then your bad karma not so heavy, you won't suffer so much. Right? So there is a very good application of what Buddha taught. Now we come to the third precept. Now the third precept is no sexual misconduct. This one, if you are in primary school, Standard 1, you don't understand. But Standard 5, 6 onwards of secondary school, you should know already. Sexual misconduct means carrying out sexual activities which are not proper, which are immoral. Example, a very concrete example is adultery. In Malay, we call it zina. Let's say a husband and wife, right? They are married already. But then the husband goes to tackle another lady, as an affair, right? A mistress, or churi go to cari another lady. That is adultery, committing adultery, And then when the wife comes to know of it, wow, of course not happy because this one is not honest, isn't it? And then quarrel, then after the divorce, and the children are so shameful. My father went to go and tackle this sexy lady, from China one. Very shameful, isn't it? So, cause disharmony in the family. So if you, later on you grow up and you're married, if you commit adultery, married already, still go and tackle other people's wives or lady of husbands, then you have disharmony in the family. A divorce can take place. And if divorce results, who suffers? all parties, the father, quarrel, tussling the children will be split, maybe. The children also suffer, isn't it? Because mother and father not on good terms already. Family reputation also spoiled. So you see, a lot of suffering comes if you don't keep this precept. Must not have sexual misconduct. I give two very clear-cut examples: zina, adultery, and rape. Rape, you know lah, Marogol lah. This one is a picture to show adultery lah. The man married already, still go and tackle another beautiful lady lah. The wife will not be happy when they come to know of it, isn't it? Then you find the heart broken already, no more love, not much love already. Problems start at home already because of the adultery. This one also same thing, this sort of thing. Then there's another type, some man terrible, no. They go and catch the children and molest them and then have sex with the children also, no. This is a terrible thing, right? These type of people are doing wrong. They are called pedophiles. So children have to be careful also. Young girls also, if the man come, come, I go and buy ice cream for you and things like that. Be careful. They may be lying and they want to take you away and do some yeah. And the boys also can be caught and do some yeah. So be careful. Now, what is the result of breaking the third precept? A person who breaks the third precept will again meet with suffering. You see, whenever you break this precept, you will encounter suffering. If it's not in this life, in future lives, there will be suffering already. Like for example, a person who, let's say, rapes, right? Then the law can catch up on him, then he can be sentenced to maybe death or life sentence in the jail, suffer lah. Or if he commits adultery, right? And then or a quarrel between him and the wife, he also will suffer already. And then all people look down upon him. That also causes him suffering. But then what happens is, after he passes away, he will be reborn. And he can be reborn into the suffering state. Hell or animal or ghost, right? And there have been cases also. Like there is account, according to what I gather from the scriptures, Ajahn Dhamma would also say there was this nun, very good, cultivated. She could see her past life though. And in the past life, she could see that she was once a man, But when she was a man, she committed adultery. She went to search for other ladies and the wife did not know. So committing the adultery, and she saw in her life, and in life she was reborn as an animal. And in the life as animal, she gets castrated. Castrated means they go operation, make the fella cannot have sex or cannot reproduce, will be castrated. So you see, right? So then, of course, if it's not that serious one, but it's still rich, but then got some good lah. And if reborn a human realm state, though this person always feeling frustrated, not satisfied, then always get trouble with people, the family lah, with the friends lah, relationship problems, perhubungan dengan orang tak baik punya. It could be a break of the third precept. So therefore, when you make the aspiration, you can say, I will be honest and sincere in my relationship with others. If it's a married person, say, I will be sincere and honest to my wife or my husband. I must not cheat on her or him. And then let the true love and compassion grow. Meditate together, metta. Then you must always say, I must cut my sensual lust. I must not be the hamsak fella. I must not be greedy for all those pleasures. I must practice contentment, puas hati. I have a wife, I have children already lah. So you have practiced that, right? So that one was the third precept lah. Isn't it? You see, the third precept. So all these good things lah. You see, do metta. Happy family. You can see, right? Very loyal husband and wife. Children also very happy. This one like the animals very very happy, right? Contented. This one also practice metta. Now we come to the fourth precept. The fourth precept usually says that no lying lah. And when you chant Musawada Veramani Sikapadang Samadhiyami, I undertake the precept not to lie. That is usually like that. But if you want to be more complete to folloh the Arya or the noble ones, as in the Noble Eightfold Path, right speech. Right speech is Sama Vacha or Zhenyi. Apart from no lying, there are three other things, altogether four things. So we can keep all four things, lagi best. The second one is no slander. Slander means to talk bad about other people and then to carry tales and cause people to quarrel, right? To have disharmony. Oh, then you maybe even write bad things about another person, isn't it? Slander, to bring down another person's character, to always go and say, you, or to say, the person are terrible one, it's like that one. So not true one, also go and say all the bad things. So quarrel. The third one is don't use the bad words. Don't use the harsh words that cause people to be sad, to be hurt, to be angry. All these, the speech not good ones. That is also breaking the thing of the right speech. And then don't gossip. And you can see very clearly here what is the meaning. These two ladies are wasting a lot of time. Neighbors talk about all the gossip, some not true one, spread rumors. This one is also a wrong action. Akusala karma, wrong action. And this lady go and scold people, bad words, everything, harsh speech. Shout at people who know, instead of speaking kindly and gently. Shout and all this. That is also generating what we call bad karma. Then this one, of course, talk bad about one. Talk bad about other people. This one lying, so that is the fourth precept example. Now, just now I told you already, I have to complete the most. Usually we chant is the no lying, but actually you go further into the Noble Eightfold Path, right speech, you have also this thing, do not slander, do not use rough or harsh speech, do not gossip or have frivolous talk. Now, what will be the result? Now, you see that if a person breaks the fourth precept, they do these four things, lying, slandering, use harsh words or speech, and gossip. Sometimes this life itself also, people don't like you. If you are used to doing all those things, talk backwards, harsh speech, like to gossip, when you work also, the boss will like you, maybe 炒魷魚, or you don't get promotion, right? And if you are a student, then you have the habit of breaking the fourth precept, lying down, and then talk bad about other classmates, use bad words, 講臭話, and then gossip. Who likes you? Nobody will like you, isn't it? Teachers also know that this the mouth's terrible one. So be careful. That is this life you can suffer. That if you don't check that habit, when you're older, you have that also will be terrible. And in the future, you get reborn, you can be reborn into suffering state, painful state, sorrowful state, like animal, or ghost, or hell. And if you, maybe you have good, some good also, and then you have some blessings, you get reborn as a human being, right? But because you have broken the fourth precept many times and many lives, you will get the effects also. Then you find some people, always people will curse them, condemn them, right? Scold them, use abusive words. Some children also, you find 3 or 4 children in the family, one of them will suffer all this. The parents don't like the blood. Always will scold the blood, abuse the blood, and very funny, but actually it could be due to a past karma or breaking the fourth precept, and this comes out even though you are born as a human beings, right? So you can see very logical one. It's not that God made you like that, it's actually a karma thing. So therefore, when you make the positive aspirations or affirmation, then in your mind, you make the assertion, you think about it, and then you put the siwang, yen wo la, yen wo what, then you say, I will always speak the truth. I will promote concord and friendship, which means that I will use my speech to make people get along very well, right? To speak speech of harmony, to use speech of harmony. So when people quarrel, I will go and try to solve for them. Say, no lah, you misunderstand. He's a good person, and you're also good. So you tell this fellow, actually, you misunderstand, he's a good person. And you tell the other person, this fellow also has good point. So bring them together, and then they become friends again. You are practicing well. Promoting concord and friendship, harmony and friendship. And then when you speak, don't shout lah, or use bad words lah. Last time when I was in Cantonese, I 4-5 plus our habit from young, they will shout in Cantonese, the bad words, no, I cannot say it lah. Ho tang They use those rough words, Then some scold the mother using the bad words, But talk about the mother's private parts, very unpleasant to hear. So must speak kindly, gently, and then you very often you will speak words that benefit people, that make people happy, and make people benefit lah. Of course, the best is you can discuss with them some Dhamma, to share Dhamma. That will be a very, very good, constructive, beneficial speech, right? So that is the 4th precept. Now we come to the 5th precept. Is no intoxicants. Intoxicants will be chemicals that make you mabuk, drunk, lose your clear thinking. Remember you chant after Musawada, Musawada, Veramani, Sikkhapadam, Samadhiyami. And there is a 4th precept. And then after the 5th one, you have chanted also. Sura Meraya Majapa Madatana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami. Some chant, but they don't understand or don't reflect and don't remember, then it's quite useless. That's why I have to do this lesson. Even though some of you may know already. I've been also learning this for 30 years already, so that it will go into my mind very strongly lah. Right? So I've been doing this also many, many times. So when you take the 5th precept, it means I undertake the precept. Right? That means I will follow the training rule not to take alcohol, minuman berarak lah, and not to take drugs, because we know these are harmful to the mind and body, isn't it? Now, there is a mistake. It's not the noble 4th precept. It should be breaking the noble. Should be breaking the 5th precept. This case is a 5th precept one. I did not correct this. This one is a mistake. So it should be breaking the 5th precept. Examples, like you see that, wow, so much of the liquor there, everything, right? And this one is the drugs, right? So you see this mabuk until you find is cannot think clearly. The face is also very funny already. And this one, mabuk already, you know what happens? You know what the fellow is doing? Can simply shout lah. All these are funny behavior lah, wrong behavior lah. And then of course drugs terrible, the drugs again. So as the person, now I see when you take intoxicants like liquor and drugs, wow, the dangers are truly great. They can harm the body. Like people get cancer of the liver lah, cancer of the brain lah, right? And then kidneys lah, heart lah. A lot of terrible. I did a posting before on the dangers of this liquor, intoxicated. But the mind now, you find can be affected. It loses its clarity, not clear, not mindful already. And the worst thing is these intoxicants and drugs can make you addicted. The target, right? You get addicted. Every time must have it lah. You don't have, cannot really. So you find the fellow addicted to the liquor. Every day must drink, 1 bottle or 2 bottles or 2 bottles of wine or whiskey or I don't know lah, beer. I don't drink all those things. And then, of course, the drug addict, you know, right? So it's very, very dangerous. And you must make sure you don't start. A lot of us who are bad people are influenced by Mara, they come and lure you. So you have to be very careful once you get addicted. See? And once a person becomes a mabo already, he loses his clarity of mind. He cannot think clearly already. Right? Not mindful. Last time when I was in Form 6 or staying in Ipoh, opposite my house, there was a lady who was she about maybe 60 years old, something like that. And she already addicted to liquor, minuman arak. So every time, about noon, she will come out, very shabbily dressed. She would just put on a sarong only, not naked, sarong only. And then one hand, she will be holding the bottle of minuman arak. I don't know whether it's beer or what type of liquor. And then she will drink and then simply talk nonsense. You know what I mean? The mind not clear, the mindfulness not there already. So you see that you must undertake the precept not to take liquor and drugs. Now, examples of breaking the fifth precept, I told you, my apologies, sorry, I made the mistake. I will correct it at the PowerPoint. PowerPoint, I'll correct it. Then breaking the fifth precept, examples, I showed you already, right? Okay. Now, let us look, what are the effects of breaking the fifth precept, which is involving intoxicants, the intentional action and result. Just now I told you already, when a person gets intoxicated with drugs or liquor, he loses his mindfulness. Then there is a break of the fifth precept. And the terrible thing is, a person who breaks the fifth precept can also break the other precept. Now, let me tell you a story. When they say it's a true story, now mind you, listen. Involves a monk, So this monk, maybe it was in China. Last time when he was not a monk, the time he would drink, he would drink some of the Chinese wine, some or whatever it is, a liquor. And then the wine can be kept for a long time. They say, wow, the longer you keep the wine or the liquor, the better it is. More tasty, delicious. So some people know how to even make the wine or the liquor, So when he was young, right? So he used to drink this, but then later on, he learned some Dhamma. He said, I don't want to drink already. So he kept away some of the remaining bottles of the wine or liquor. He kept it in the, maybe in the backyard there, or maybe the back of the kitchen, a storeroom or whatever. Forget about it. So he went away from his kampong. He was a monk already. Then one day, after many years, he came back to the kampong and he visited his old house. At the time, I think he was quite deserted already. Nobody staying there already. So it's just a kampong area. So he went to then he went there. So you say you are not very careful. You see, because he got the thought, the memory. You say, wow, last time, because he didn't do anything positive already. Start thinking all those nonsense things. Say, last time, I remember I was a lay person at the time. I did drink, I had some bottles kept in the storeroom, Actually, wow, very nice, tasty. And never mind, I don't get drunk, it's okay. I just go and take one bottle, drink a bit. So you see, all the Mara force coming already to this monk already. Then another thought comes. Hey, I remember if you want to take a drink, you go and cook some fried chicken or fry some chicken, very nice one, with the liquor. But no chicken how? You say, all those bad thoughts, no. So you say, neighbor, got chicken, right? So he went to steal, no. So you see, he went to steal a chicken and then he killed the chicken to cook and to fry, to fry the fried chicken. Because last time he knew how to do it. Now even the monk already, those things come back when you're not careful. So you see, he has broken the precept of killing. Imagine that. Right? The first precept, killing already. And he broke the second precept also because he went to steal somebody's chicken. So he drank. After one bottle, he said, yeah, not enough. I think I can take another bottle. So he was addicted away and he drank more already. It became mabuk already. Mabuk. Just sitting on the table there reading. Then so happened, it was evening time already. Quite getting dark, but still could see the lights. Then there was a lady who passed by, a beautiful young lady. Wow, in him the hamsak feeling came already on. The nafsu, the lust. Then he went to drag the lady inside, right? Wow. And then you know what he did? He broke the third precept. He raped the girl, right? Imagine, so terrible. Girl mabuk already, so then the lady after being raped already, and then broke away from him and went back to the house and cry, So told the thing lah. He said, "Yo, this monk caught me and raped me and so on." Wow, the villagers came with their what do you call it, sticks lah, their other wooden weapons or what lah. This is a story lah, right? So they came and then confronted this monk, and say, "Hey, you raped this lady, no. And then the other say, "I lost my chicken." He said, "You stole it, No. Lying. He broke another precept. He lied. You see? Then he said, "Hey, did you molest and rape this girl?" "No, I never did that." Lying again. Killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, and then spoke all the nonsense words and so on. All the other precepts broken because he broke the fifth precept. And then, of course, cause and effect. No need to wait until you die. This life itself. So he was beaten until, I don't know what happened. Beaten until very terribly injured. So you see, cause effect. But if a person, let's say, gets reborn, so he'll be reborn into a suffering state, or like the case of the nun who was previously, the one was breaking the third precept. This one, you could be reborn into a suffering state, or if you happen to be reborn as a human being because you have some good karma, then you can be mentally chachat, right? You'll be maybe a handicapped person in terms of the mind. 2 plus 2 also, you are 15 or 18. Those of you who have been to the rumah kena cacat, you can see a terrible rumah kena cacat. 20, 30 years old, 不知道怎么样要穿那个衣服So you see, don't tell me God made them like that and things like that. It's just cause effect. Right? Of course, then we go there, we don't go and judge, but we go and help them, compassion. That one day when they have sort of paid off the bad karma already, that they too can become a better human being or things like that. So you have mental sickness, down, some born very, very moronic, so stupid, cannot be intelligent or wise. So therefore, you make the aspiration, you say that I will strive to keep my mind pure, clear, alert, always mindful and unconfused. So you have this good state. Meditate, then your mind will be mindful. And then there's walking meditation also very mindful. Mindfulness, very good. But if you take this liquor or drugs, you will lose the mindfulness and do horrible things. And then not only that, the bad results will come in the future lives also, you see. That's why Buddhists, we take the fifth precept, and then also we have understanding, right? We don't say you are imposed to, no. We tell you, but you don't want to follow, what can we do? Isn't it? So this is the important teaching. So now you have seen these important things, right? So now we summarize all those things. So you say, now I understand that these 5 precepts are wonderful precepts because they will not get us into suffering state, into pain in this life and future lives. They protect us. They make us more peaceful and happy. That means they are conducive to the welfare and happiness. I will be happy, peaceful. Others also can be happy and peaceful because I help people, I have metta and so on. So the precepts are wonderful precepts. isn't it? For your own good and for other people's good also. You'll be considered not a threat. People will like you actually. People will not consider you a danger. So you see how important it is to keep the 5 precepts. So therefore, you always will take the precept to the best of your ability, right? So you say, I will try my best, but sometimes you maybe make a mistake. Now mind, improve, right? You say, okay, I made a mistake. The day I just did something not correct. I tell lies. And then cause my mother to believe and all those stuff. After I say, oh, wait, now mind, next time I will not do it, all right? The day I went to steal the pencil of my friend, so sometimes you make mistakes now, mind. But you must know it mindful, and then make the resolution, I will not do it again. And then do more and more good, isn't it? As I give you an analogy, you add more and more water. So when you add more and more water, then the effects, the bad effects will be very much less, isn't it? So this is the training rules you undertake to follow, to improve yourself, to improve your heart and your mind. All the bad qualities you cut, and then the good qualities begin to grow. And you continue doing this, you find a fantastic good things will happen to you. And then you progress on and on until you become a Buddha. And then be perfectly moral, no more committing any wrong things already. And then you be perfectly happy, blissful, and no longer will be reborn. So now, we come to the end now, right? So you can see here, we have some other things for you to recapitulate. Morality is a must to have true peace that will last. If a person doesn't have morality, right, he thinks that, wow, you have a lot of money, a lot of possessions, all this, and I will have peace. No. You do the wrong way, you don't have morality, and now you can't sleep peacefully. Other people will be looking out for you because you have offended people, have done wrong to people. So if a person is not moral, does wrong things, he will get it back. The terrible things will happen. So when you are moral, your conscience is clear, you do good things, you never do bad things, you will have definitely true peace. And you can sleep peacefully, isn't it? You won't be so you don't know this will come and do something to you because you've cheated people, right? Or you have hurt people by terrible words, or maybe you have killed one of his family members or whatever, or whatever, or terrorists or whatnot. So therefore, you see that morality is the foundation, is the asas. When you do Dhamma practice, you must have morality as the tapak like that, right? As the foundation. Then from there, you can practice the other things like concentration, right? Stillness of mind, mindfulness, concentration, and then wisdom. So, but you must have the morality. All religions also, you see, emphasize on this. You don't have the morality, you can't really proceed on your religious path, whether it's this religion or that religion. So in Buddhism, if you don't start off, if you don't have this sila or morality, you cannot practice your Dhamma. So therefore, you must observe your precept very well. And when you observe your precepts very well, the 5 precepts, what you speak, what you do, people will know, this girl, you see, you always speak kind words, very gentle, beneficial words, you see his bodily action, he's so generous, right? And then he always helping other people, all these things, your body action and your speech will tell, this fella is actually keeping the precepts very well. And he said he never touches alcohol at all. He's always a mind very clear one, He doesn't drink any alcohol, never take drugs, Isn't that wonderful? Isn't it? So from here, you can see that these are very important things to practice in Dhamma, right? So to conclude, before we say sadhu 3 times, I would like to thank all the students, right, of Buddhist Sunday School, Dhamma classes, and even Buddhist youths, and then also the parents, grandparents, and then the teachers also, for following this almost 1 hour of Dhamma discussion on a very, very important topic of Sila, observing precepts, right? So let us say sadhu 3 times to all, right? Sadhu, 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 right? May you all be well, happy, and peaceful. Take care.